And good morning. It is Wednesday, February 4th, and we are businessing. This is Small Business's daily live show. I'm your host, Pat Miller, the Fridays Off guy, founder of the Small Business Owners community. I'm so glad you could make it this morning. You look awesome. Do I look awesome? This is my new Small Business Owners zip up, right? It's all comfy. There's something great about a new sweatshirt. It feels so good. Shout out Angela Allen, Small Business Owners community member, made it for me. We're sponsored today by GenHead and NG, and we've got some great stuff on today's show. 1 in 3 Americans want to start a business. That's fantastic. According to the SBA, half of them will fail. I have 4 things that they need to know before they begin, and I learned them the hard way. So we will share that during the show. Did you know we were this close to a manned space moon mission? Like we were shooting people up into the sky to go to the moon. Did you know that? Well, they averted tragedy yesterday, and we will talk about that on the show today. And 2 Idea Slam questions. Yesterday, we had Rebecca Bryan on the show, who we were Idea Slamming. So Rebecca, great to see you this morning. Thanks for tuning in. But today, we don't have a guest. Womp womp. But we do have 2 questions that make a bunch of sense. The first one is, I'm making good money, but I still feel like I'm drowning in chaos every day. Does this get any easier? You ever felt that way? We'll talk about that in the Idea Slam, and you might have some great feedback, so fire up the chat. And the other question is, everyone says AI is essential, but I'm behind. I don't know where to start, and I'm, at this point, scared of looking stupid if I even try. Big question. We will definitely tackle that. So if you're with us, say good morning in the chat. We'd love to feature you on the air. Tell us who you are, what you do, and drop your link. Michael and Barbara and Rebecca, I'm glad you're here, but you're not promoting yourself. As our friend Precious Williams says, bless the mic. Tell us what you do, and I'll include as many of you as we can. How about we start with checking on the news? So someone did unplug and replug in the government because it's back on. Yay. The government shutdown is over. President Trump signed a trillion, with a TR, trillion dollar spending package. So most of the government is going to have money through September. So that's fantastic. But DHS only received a 2-week extension. So Congress is still arguing over ICE and DHS. So it's not over. It's over-ish. Is that a statement? The government's open and it's over-ish. We'll keep an eye on it. Now, let's talk about this manned space mission to the moon. I like to think that I'm a pretty informed guy. Every single day, I'm doing this show and getting ready to share with you what's important. And I completely missed that we had a rocket and 4 astronauts in quarantine, ready to be shot up into space so they could orbit the moon, getting ready for another moon landing. So the one that was going to go up was Artemis 2. And the next one was going to be Artemis 3. So Artemis 2 was going to go up there and do some recon and test a whole bunch of stuff. And then Artemis 3 was going to land on the moon. So they had these guys and gals quarantined, ready to go up. And oops, hydrogen's leaking. Not a good thing. So they had to delay the launch yesterday. So that's what's pretty amazing. If you think about where we're at right now, we're going to shoot people to the moon. And it doesn't even make casual conversation. Think about that. We're turning sand into thought with AI, and we're solving major diseases at a record clip. And the whole Western world is thinking about these computer problems. Meanwhile, NASA's just doing NASA things, shooting people to the moon, and nobody even notices. I know that I'm going to be super dialed in to that mission when it goes back up. They're going to try again in March. So that's pretty cool. Disney named a new CEO. Bob Iger is out, and Josh D'Amaro is in. He comes over from their theme parks division, which makes a whole lot of sense because when I tried to stream Disney this morning, it said that the price is now $163 a month. Makes sense. There's one more thing I want to share, the power of headlines. Now, this is something that's going on in the news, and it actually makes sense for you when you're making content on social media or LinkedIn or wherever you're doing it. Headlines are ridiculously powerful. That first thing that you say grabs them, and people will interpret it. Here's the headline. I want you to listen to the headline and tell me what you think. Jill Biden's ex-husband charged with murdering his wife. When I read that headline, did you immediately think, whoa, Joe Biden murdered Jill? What? Jill Biden's ex-husband charged with murdering wife. No, that's not what happened. But that headline is definitely a scroll stopper, is it not? Jill Biden's ex-husband is charged with murdering his new wife after Jill. William Stevenson, he's 77 years old, who Jill Biden divorced before marrying Joe. He's been indicted for first-degree murder in the death of his current wife, Linda. Current is, I guess, doing a lot of work in that sentence because, okay, that got dark quick. But the point is, headlines are powerful because all I read was the headline. And for a good few seconds, I thought, wait a minute, Joe? No. So put a lot of effort into your headlines because it's oftentimes the only thing that anyone reads. Oh, there's one more thing we got to share. Winter Olympics, we've been talking about it all week. The opening ceremony is tomorrow. Mariah Carey and Andrea Bocelli will perform, and it will be our first time to get used to the time change. So the opening ceremonies are going to happen at 1:30 p.m. Central Time, but then it will stream in prime time. So you now have this game that we get to play where if you want to avoid what happens in the Olympics, you now know how much lead time you have to avoid it. So 1:30 is when it happens. It will start at 7 p.m. So get yourself ready for the shift. Okay, today's lead story is another small business survey, and it comes to us courtesy of QuickBooks. And I'm going to put it in the chat so you can get your hands on it if you want to read it. But QuickBooks and Intuit did an entrepreneurship survey. So there's the link. I just dropped it into the chat. And here's the big old headline. Entrepreneurship energy is at an all-time high. 1 in 3 Americans plan to start a business or a side hustle in the next 12 months. That's a lot of people. 68% of those feel this real urgency to launch. Like, oh, not only do I have a side hustle, not only do I have a business, I got to do it right now. And 57% of those are saying economic conditions, even if they're not ideal, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. So if that is you, someone that wants to start a business, I lead a small business community for a living. I get to talk to brilliant entrepreneurs every day. I know what works and what doesn't work, and I'm building my own small business dream as well. So let me just have you sit down here with Uncle Pat. Uncle Pat's going to put his arm around you, and we're just going to have a little talk, okay? I'm going to share 4 things that I believe in when it comes to starting a business, and maybe this will help you, maybe it won't, but I think it will. Rule number 1, no matter what company you start, you're in the sales business. So the question is, how do you feel about selling? Because when you open a business, you're not in the product creation business. You're not in the pretty website business. You're not in the social media getting attention business. You're in the asking for money business. You are in the sales business. And your success will be directly proportional to the amount of effort you put into asking other people for money. So an example, I've always wanted to open a dog walking business because I love walking dogs. Cool. Technically, it's not about walking dogs at all. It's about asking people who have dogs, hey, would you like me to walk your dog? It costs this much. This is a mindset. This is a way you have to think about it if you want to be successful with the business that you're choosing to open. If you're not willing to go out and sell, stay employed by someone who is willing to go out and sell. This is the number one sorting factor for everyone that wants to be a business owner. You can do it. Anyone can do it. You just have to get over the idea that you're in the asking for money business, which is cool, but it's definitely a mind shift. Number 2, I suggest you get into the business as lean as you possibly can. Now, the QuickBooks study says that you need $12,000 on average to start up the business. But the people in the study estimated they needed about $28,000 to do it right. Like that's what they thought. I need about $28,000 to start up. After seeing a bunch of businesses launch and sadly too many of them fail, I would tell you try and do it as lean as possible. Imagine you want to open a coffee shop. I want to open a coffee shop. I have this vision of the coolest coffee shop in the world. Okay, cool. Don't start with a coffee shop at all. Start with a farmer's market table. See if it works. See if people care. See if people like your coffee. And if they do, great, expand. Maybe do a food cart on a busy corner or a food truck or sublease from another business that has some extra space. And if things are actually cooking and you're making money hand over fist, awesome. Open a shop. I know that as you sit there right now, you're thinking, but I have this dream for this amazing coffee shop and it won't work if it's not perfect. And I hate to be a buzzkill, but I'm trying to share you the truth here. I'm not sharing how you can get to that cute little village coffee shop where people bring their dogs and sip $9 lattes and co-work all day. And you've created this beautiful third space and you have this vision. Everybody needs it. I get it. I get it. But when you're starting, money on the whole really isn't that hard to get, especially if you got a business credit card like I do. You can get the resources that you need to get starting. It's not the debt that's the problem. It's the fact that you're full of ideas and full of energy without a validated business premise. Because if you open that beautiful little coffee shop from day one, you get the $28,000, or if you get the $12,000 and you open this coffee shop, it's going to feel a whole lot different when you swing open the doors and then you start checking your email and your credit card bills are due, or you got to start paying on that loan. Everything will feel a whole lot different if you've got to sell 1,000 lattes this week to make the budget. So if you want your dream to come true, understand I am cheering for you. I absolutely want you to get there and you got to put in the work, but I'm begging you, if you can, do it as lean as possible because it'll lower the stress, it'll lower the drama, and it will help you be successful faster. Rule 3, and if you're just joining us, we're talking about the 4 things I would tell a first-time business owner if they were just starting out, because there's a new study from QuickBooks that says 1 in 3 Americans want to start a business or side hustle this year. So I'm going through the 4 things that I would tell them. The third thing, and this is just my opinion, other people have different opinions on this, but this is my opinion, don't start with a partner. Don't start with a partner. If you're inexperienced in the vertical that you want to go into, you've never owned a coffee shop before, go work in a coffee shop for a while and learn the ropes. But if you think that opening a business in an area that you don't know what you're doing and you'll bring in a partner to fill in the gap, it technically might work, but there's a big downside that I don't think everyone talks about. Yes, you have more expertise to start your business, but you've lost all your autonomy, all of your decision-making windows, all of your freedoms are out the door. Because at the beginning, it'll be comfortable. Oh, hey, Michael and I are starting a business, which would be crazy fun, by the way, Michael, closed caption. But hey, Michael and I are starting a business. This would be great. And you have someone with you, and you have someone to bounce ideas with, and you're not alone. That's cool. Get a dog. Don't start it with another person. Because as soon as you have someone else in the business, here's what happens. Every choice can quickly become a negotiation. So go back to the coffee shop. You know what? We've got people standing outside at 5 a.m. So why don't we open early on Sundays? Hey, partner, are you okay with that? Got to get their opinion. Boy, I was reviewing the inventory and no one's buying the beans that we're getting from Guatemala, but they love the Colombian. Let's order some more Colombian. Is that okay with you, partner? Hey, we need to hire a better person to be at the register, but we're not paying them enough. I think we should raise how much we're paying. You get the point. Updating your logos, what you say and do on social, what your website looks like, what the color of the soap in the men's room is, all of that can be a negotiation with a partner. You lose all of your decision-making autonomy. And what I'm telling you is that as a small business owner, stuff comes up every single day. And something that was a good idea yesterday may be completely invalidated the very next day. And you've got to move right now. And if you've got someone in the business, now you've got someone who you need to ask permission from. You may get lucky. You might find the greatest partner in the world, someone that's willing to take on some risk. Maybe they fill in some expertise you don't have. But you could also get very unlucky. And now you have a complicated working, legal, and financial relationship with someone you're not related to. My recommendation, especially if you've never done this before, try and do it solo. It'll be a lot easier. And the last one, and this one's a little bit personal, so maybe this is the Uncle Pat part of it all. This is me talking to you because I want you to be successful. If you want to open a small business this year, don't do it broke. You may need startup funds, and that's totally fine. But please don't start a small business if your family finances are hurting. Now, I'm not saying you have to be wealthy to open a small business. Actually, quite the contrary. I just want you to be on stable footing. I don't want you to have credit card bills to the moon, and I don't want you to have a big negative cash flow every month. If you have to, take a part-time job to save up some money, drive DoorDash. I don't care what it is, but save up a little bit of an emergency fund, slash your family spending a little bit so you have a positive cash flow every month. Do whatever you have to do to be as solid as possible at home so the business doesn't make it worse, because it will. It will. So here's what happens when you have a business. You get little care packages. Do you remember Harry Potter? Like the owls would show up and drop things. Remember that? That's kind of like what it is in a business. Like the owls come and they drop things on you every single day. And they're little financial packages. And sometimes, oh, they're good ones. Oh, look what I got. And sometimes they're not good. In an average day, you could get a big client, you could lose a big client. A competitor could open, a customer's tastes may change, and the thing that you built your business on is totally out of style now. Your supplier could be hit with a tariff and your supply expense goes up 35%. A hot new TikTok trend lands, and your customers are saying, you need to do everything differently. Your business insurance is due. You have to pay the lawyer for all of that LLC stuff. It's tax time. Your website software renewal is up. The bathroom is leaking. All your supplies are ruined. And your best employee, no calls, no shows. And now you have to work in the coffee shop 7 days a week. And oh, by the way, the owl just delivered that damn printer is broken again. That's Tuesday. All of that could be in one day. And if that's your Tuesday and your financial life is on fire in the business and you come home to a pile of bills, and this is the most important part, listen to me clearly. If you come home to a pile of bills and a stressed out partner because your family finances weren't set before you went off on this new business adventure, you could really be in a bad place, because rightfully, your partner would say, hey, remember that steady paycheck you used to have? That was pretty great. And you won't have much of a defense for that, because you know what? The steady paycheck will start to sound pretty darn good. It's reality. There is nothing better for the country than having a huge wave of entrepreneurialism. I love it. And I love small business owners. And man, I want you to win. I would do anything to help you to win. That's what the small business owners community is all about. We are here to help connect you and help you win and grow. But I'm sharing these 4 things because all of these words are true. I've seen people live all of these experiences. And before you sign a big old loan and spend months of fancy website building and fling open your doors and realize your target market does not care, and you and your partner don't agree on anything, and now you're lying at the bottom of the swimming pool with a big old debt loan that you've got to pay on, you could end up in a bad place. So if you want help, join the small business owners community. We're here for you. It's $9 a month. Everyone that's going to open a business can afford it. If you need help, that's what the Idea Slam is here for. Come on the show and let's riff on your business plan and talk about what's important and the big decisions that you have to make your business work. That's why we're here. And we speak from experience. And just so you know, I'm cheering for you. I definitely want you to win. So hopefully this helps. The Idea Slam is coming up in just a little bit, and we've got some good questions on the Idea Slam today. We're going to talk about the AI problem. Because if you haven't been keeping up with AI and now you feel behind and you might feel kind of stupid about jumping in now, don't be. And we will talk in on that topic. Also, a question that I got. I'm making decent money, but I still feel like I'm drowning in chaos every day. When does this whole small business thing get easier? Common question. We'll tackle it in just 1 minute. Businessing is sponsored by our friends at GenHead. Scale systems, not chaos. They're built for early stage businesses. GenHead systems, they work for founders and solopreneurs and small teams who need real momentum, not another complex tool it takes forever to run in a full-time operator. Nobody's got that time. We want a streamlined, practical piece of software we can act on the day it's installed that replaces like 10 different systems. Instead of logging into the CRM and dragging it over to your funnel machine and where do you text people and how do you do email workflows and they're disconnected all over the place, GenHead is going to centralize all of that. It's one clear operating system, less chaos, clearer data, better execution. Learn more at genhead.com. That's genhead.com. Idea Slam time. This, of course, is my favorite time of the show, and this is your opportunity to come on the air and tell us what's working in your business. I want to hear what your biggest challenge is or what your biggest opportunity is. And then together, myself and the folks in the chat, we will all work together to make it better. My job is to push you to think just a little bit bigger and to give you that perspective that maybe you don't have when you're building your business all by yourself. Because everybody that's building a business has a big decision they need to make today. And if you're by yourself trying to figure it out, you might not make the right one. So it's free to come on. It's also a little bit of publicity and some fun. So come on the Idea Slam, just like Rebecca did yesterday, and we will build your business together. First question today, I'm making decent money, but I still feel like drowning in chaos. When does this get easier? I have some good news. The good news is it doesn't get easier. Surprise. It doesn't get easier. But the good news is the hard in building a small business will change. So the stuff that feels like overwhelming and impossible right now will change. You will move into new layers of hard. So right now you're drowning in chaos and you're smart and you've got resources around you. You're going to fix the situation. You'll have a hard couple of months working through that process. That's totally fine. But then you'll find out what's causing that tension, and then you'll put the systems and processes in place, and things will calm down. And that's great. But then what happens next? That's only your current situation. So soon you might be dealing with a new competitor that makes your life hard, or supplier problems that make your life hard, or your pipeline's drying up that makes your life hard. Who knows? We know that something hard is going to happen all the time. And I heard someone say that entrepreneurship is kind of like a video game. And I love that explanation because I love video games. And as you play the video game, we just continue to level up. What we do now on level 1 feels impossible until you figure out how to do the thing and you punch Mike Tyson in the right way and then you move up to the next level. That's kind of what it feels like. So if you played video games before, you kind of know how running a business is. It just stays hard. But at every level you go up, the hard changes a little bit. So don't get discouraged by things being difficult, but do think about, what do I have to do to make this easier? Because it really should be rephrased. When does it get easier? Should really be, what must I do today to make it easier? And if you can objectively call out what's making things suck right now, you can fix them and then move up to a new boss on the new level and take on the next part of your business growth. So bad news, it never gets easier. Good news, you keep on leveling up, and at every level, the challenges get harder, but the rewards get bigger. And you get closer and closer to your small business dream. So that's how I'd answer that question. Second Idea Slam question today. Everyone says AI is essential for now, but I don't know where to start. And at this point, I'm scared of looking stupid. So what should I do? So this is almost part 2 of the last question that I answered. I'll just be real with you and say, I have a fatal flaw as an entrepreneur. I can't tell you how much money I've lost because I wasn't willing to look stupid and start following best practices. What I stubbornly failed to perceive is that millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of entrepreneurs have figured this out long before I showed up and long before you showed up. And there are some tried and true ways that can point us in the right direction to figure out a problem that we're facing. And my fatal flaw is that I don't always like to listen to them. I always want to think about, oh, I want to do it my own way. So I try my own way and I look stupid. And I don't do what works. And I'm trying to get out of that habit. So this comes back to this question. I don't want to look stupid and try AI. Look stupid. Look really stupid. We got to get into this because AI is absolutely here. All of your competitors are using it. If you think I'm exaggerating, you're wrong. The adoption rate for small business is now well over 90%. And the way that we get our work done has completely changed. The AI agents are here, and I'm going to talk about what I'm doing with AI agents before the show closes because I have an opportunity to work with you, by the way. But the AI agents are here, and I'm relying on my AI agent every single day. You will pry Claude out of my cold, dead fingers. Like, Claude is the most important employee in my business right now. And by mid-April, I'm going to have probably 20 different AI employees. I've got 6 right now. Probably 20 different AI employees completely revolutionizing the way that I do my thing. And it's going to change everything for you as well. So it's time to look stupid, America. If you decide to wait on AI because you don't want to look stupid, you're going to miss a big old opportunity. Your competitors are going to get further ahead. You're going to fall further behind. And then you're really going to look stupid because then the stakes are going to be really high. So what do? I don't like just to say stuff and not give you something to actually act on. What do? Start with a chatbot, pick one. I'm sure you're probably already using one. Gemini, ChatGPT, whatever it might be. Pick one. I use Claude. And just start talking with it every single day, all the time. Think about what could Claude help me do right now. As you experiment with your chatbot, and as you think about how do I get further, faster using AI, you'll start feeling less and less dumb. You'll start finding use cases. But I'll tell you right now, a day does not go by where this thing does not surprise me on what it can do. And something happened yesterday that I'll tell you in a little bit. It blew my mind what it did. I'll share that before the show is over. But what this is doing is changing everything. So avoiding all of this technology is stupid. So I'm telling you right now, get out your chatbot, start talking with it, start experimenting with it, and try and keep up. And if you're still lost, if you still aren't sure what to do, this would be a great idea slam question. So last time before I move on to the end of the show, snap the QR code, become a part of our Idea Slam fam, and we'd love to have you on the air. Now, I shared that I'm doing some really amazing stuff with Claude Cowork. It did something yesterday, did 2 things in the last week, 3 really, that kind of melted my face. And I'll tell you about that in just a second. So we're talking all about AI. We got to talk about our sponsor, Engie. Marketing is a must for small businesses, and Engie makes it easy. Even when things feel uncertain or busy or overwhelming, what if you could get it all done with an AI-powered piece of software that turns your message into a marketing engine? It takes your ideas and your differentiation and shares it with the world using AI-powered marketing almost on autopilot. It'll help you tell your story at scale. It'll help you distribute across all of your platforms with a scheduling tool. And if you're worried about your graphics looking great, Engie plugs right into Canva, as in right into Canva. It's a social media scheduler that is like no other. We've been using it here, and it's keeping things really up to date for us. Really happy with Engie here at the SBOC and the Businessing Show. The other thing that I like about Engie, it was written and built by marketing experts. So they're not just giving you the software. They really believe in KPIs, key performance indicators. So you can do more of what works and less of what doesn't. Angie's changed the way that we're doing it here, and I asked them for a discount for businessing viewers, and they hooked us up. If you're interesting, your marketing will be good. If you're interested, that's what I meant to say. There's a 14-day risk-free trial. So if you're thinking, AI content marketing engine, that sounds pretty cool. Try it for 2 weeks. And if you hate it, you can unsubscribe, which won't happen. But it's a 14-day risk-free trial to finally make your marketing so much easier. Then they gave us a discount for the first 2 months if you sign up. And then after the discount is over, it's only $29 a month. Make your social media headache go away. Use NG. It's awesome. ng.co/SBOC, and the link is in the chat as well. ng.com/SBOC for the deal. NG solves the I do my own marketing problem. All right. I don't know, like, you got to turn your volume down or like got to lean in a little bit, but we got to have a talk. Is this another talk with Uncle Pat? God, that's going to stick, isn't it? This is for real. So if you've been watching Businessing, and some of you have been watching Businessing since we launched our daily live stream, I am absolutely fanatical right now about Claude Cowork. And I got to tell you what I'm doing because it's changing everything for me. So here's the deal. I have a Mac, and on the Mac, I downloaded the Claude app. Inside the Claude app, they have their chat. They have their code where it can help you build websites and stuff. But then they introduced another mode, which is called Cowork. And that's where AI agents, my minions, can go out and do stuff. And it's unbelievable. So I have this AI synced in with my Google Docs, synced in with my calendar, and synced in with a bunch of other platforms that I use. And I can ask it to do things that it will do independently. It is this mixture of best practices research, analysis of what I'm doing, and then implementation. So I'll give you the example yesterday. If you're like me, there are areas of your business that you know you need to get to, but I just don't have time for that. One of them that came up to me yesterday was my Google My Business page. If you have a business, you probably have a Google My Business page. Having your Google My Business page on point is a big deal when it comes to SEO and optimization. And that's just one of those things that I just never made time for. I didn't know how to do it, and I didn't know how to make it great. So I went to Claude Cowork, said, hey, use the browser, navigate to my Google My Business page, do an analysis of what a great Google My Business page should look like using best practices, compare it against what I have, and give me a detailed report. And after I see the detailed report, I'll tell you what to do next. So it goes out, it searches the web. It comes back with, okay, now I know what it takes to make a great Google My Business page. Then it opened a browser, it navigated to my Google My Business page, it analyzed what I had, and it came back and it said, okay, I know what the best practices are. I have seen what you're doing, and here are the changes that we need to make. Bing, 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 bing. Okay, which ones can you make, and what do I have to do? Here are the things I can do. Here are the things you need to do. All right, cool, do it. It logged back in using my Google Chrome, went to my Google My Business page, changed a bunch of stuff, bing, 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 bing. And then it said, you need to upload some pictures, you need to do this, you need to do this. So then I spent 30 minutes, making the page great. And now it's done. It's done. I've been in business as Small Step Solutions since 2018. The small business owners community has been open since June 1st, 2020. The small business owners community Google My Business page has been a little task sitting on my shoulder, taking up bandwidth that entire time. I knew it wasn't right, but I didn't know how to fix it. And before this, think about what it did. It went out and it found what's wrong. It then looked at what I'm doing, and then it had the context to compare the two. And then it went and did it. I know I'm talking about this all the time, but I'm telling you, this is okay. You want another example? What other example should I use? Google my business page. I think I might have talked about the YouTube page. But if I didn't, let's talk about the YouTube page. Do you have a YouTube page for your business? Yes. What does it look like? A garage sale. That's what mine looked like. It was just this depository of videos that I posted, just old daily shows like this that I used to do, the annual radio show that I hosted, events that were up there. There was no strategy. There was no keywords. There was no nothing. Same thing. Yo, Claude Cowork, get out there and find out what a great YouTube page should look like. Tell me what's working and what's not on my page. Give me a strategic action plan of what we should do. And let's get rocking and rolling. Beep, boop, boop, comes back. Here's your report. Okay, cool. And the report said, should be focused around what you're working on right now. Personal brands are engaging way better than corporate brands right now. You don't want stuff that's dated or out of date on there. And here's where I see your page could be fixed. We should switch it from SBOC to Pat Miller, the Fridays Off guy. We should put this description up there. We should put these keywords in there because I hadn't put the right keywords in. We should hide all of these videos that are dated. We don't delete them, just make them unlisted. We should organize a playlist for the new show. We should do this. We should do this. Okay. How much of that can you do? I'm on it. I watched it. Open my browser. Go to my YouTube page. I'm just sitting here with my popcorn, just watching. You got to be kidding me. I had hundreds of videos on that page. It unlisted all the ones that didn't make sense anymore. It hid all of my own shows that are out of date. It helped me redefine the name of the channel, the description of the channel, got the keywords right, did all of this stuff. It's unbelievable. My expertise, my job is to have a conversation with you. My job is to throw parties and communities and events for small business owners. My job is not to optimize a YouTube page. My job is not to optimize a Google My Business page. It did both of those things just in the last week. I mean, I've got a list here. I got a list of stuff that it's been doing because every time it does something, I'm like, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe it did that. I'm telling you this for two reasons. One, you are all going to get software like this real soon. And Barbara asked a great question. Is Claude a Mac-only AI? No, Claude is open to anyone. However, Claude's Cowork is in the Mac app only currently, meaning you have to be a Mac user to download the app, not surf their website. Download the app and you can start playing with it. But it's pretty bananas. So I'm telling you that because you're all going to get this software real soon. Like, I don't know. I would bet by the end of March, you'll all have one of these AI agents plugged into your business. But to get ready for it, I've learned a ton about how to train it who you are, give it access to the right stuff, what not to do with it, and then how you can start thinking about having this AI agent on your team. Tyler, great to see you, pal. And yes, you need to learn more, which is interesting that you say that because I'm going to tell you how you can learn more. My vision is that people need to get up to speed on this and people need to install it right now. And I'm going to start leading people on this. I want a client, one person I can work with so I can train on this technology because I want to get people up to speed on this software so you too can experience what this is about. Because in tech circles right now, like the super tech circles, I'm like lost inside tech Twitter at the moment. And the repetitive conversation inside tech Twitter right now is, oh, who's going to share this with Main Street America? Because for the most part, tech Twitter, they think that we're all like not very smart. On the whole, they don't have the highest opinion for Main Street America like us. But you know what? They're tech people. So whatever, be a tech person. It's cool. You don't know a lot of Main Street America folks, but they're wringing their hands saying, Main Street America needs this. Who's going to teach them how to use these AI agents? I will. I'm doing it for two reasons. It's totally changed my business for the better. And I know it'll totally change yours. And if my mission is to help small business owners win, this is the biggest opportunity we've seen in forever. Forever. It's unbelievable. So if you're watching this and you're curious, I need a Mac user that wants to experiment with me on this, because I think this is something I can do for quite a while to help people get the most out of AI agents. But I need my first client to participate with. So Tyler, come on, bud. Let's work together. I know it can help you. Or if you're watching this, you want to get in touch with me, DM me on the platform that you're watching this show on, because I want to change your business. And this thing, I'm telling you, I can't stop using it. I haven't even played Call of Duty in the last couple of days because I just sit in here and I play with my Claude, which sounds dirtier than it is. I'll leave you with that. Okay. We're going to Madison, Wisconsin next week, which I'm super excited about. Our owners only meetup, the small business owners community, is going to get together to do some high power networking and welcome new members to the community. So if you're within driving distance of Madison, Wisconsin, show up and meet all of the folks in the small business owners community and join the community. It's a perfect time to get involved, to be a part of an in-person idea slam, which is a totally different animal, and it's so much fun. And someone in the community shared a perspective that I thought was really good. I said, what do you get out of the community? And they said, you can get answers on the internet from anyone, but you never know if you can trust them. But inside the SBOC, if Tyler or Michael gives me an answer, I know them, so I can trust the answers better. And I can get feedback from decisions from those that have actually made the same decisions that I'm making. So this is an actionable, supportive group of entrepreneurs that are all working together. So if you're interested in not growing it alone and you want to come hang out with us in Madison or just join our digital community today, the link is now on the screen. It's only $9 a month. And as far as Madison is concerned, we're going to get together and do the Idea Slam and our networking. And from yesterday's show, we had 3 people join the community just from yesterday's show. Awesome. Pakita and Jennifer and Steve, welcome to the community. It's great to see you. So don't grow your business all by yourself. Join the SBOC and have expert guidance there with you. It's only $9 a month. The link is on the screen. We'd love to have you be a part of what we're doing. So there you have it. Another day done. Businessing with Pat Miller, sponsored by GenHead and NG, produced by GenHead. Thank you, GenHead. And if you can, like and subscribe the show wherever you're watching. And if you share the show with your network, I've got prizes. We're calling it Share Mail. So share the show and tell a friend about the show. I will mail you lavish gifts in the mail as a way to say thank you. It's the new daily habit for small business owners. Back on the air tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central. I'm Pat Miller, the Fridays Off guy, founder of the Small Business Owners Community. Thanks for tuning in and take care.